In the second phase, they switch from the creative mode to the judgmental mode. The leader will guide them through these final stages. Number 5, synthesis. Number 6, verification. Number 7, acceptance and implementation.
To cut this list down, you'll notice I've eliminated some of our wilder thoughts. They serve their purpose by stimulating better ideas.
I like the crazy one.
Are you missing any of your favorites?
Just kidding.
Okay. Now let's get serious. You've been so prolific, we're swamped here. So here's my suggestion. Each of us will state which of these ideas we think offer the best solutions. State as many as you like. I'll keep tabs on this master sheet, and we'll first eliminate those we really can't support. Ellen?
Well, since I supervise much of the record keeping, I'm a little cautious about some of these.
Tell us which ones you think have even a remote chance of achieving our goal.
Well, I really like the incentive of offering more advanced training in-house. Oh, there's another good one. Let's see.
After they get the list pared down, the team evaluates the remaining ideas in terms of the goal and criteria. And finally, they arrive at a list of several strong possibilities.
Now, here are the suggestions remaining. I'll just summarize them quickly. Work at home, more paraprofessionals, subcontracting, flexible time, time sharing, paid daycare, task variation, more autonomy, more in-house training to upgrade professionally. I want your thoughts and feelings about the first item, working at home.
First off, that's possible for so very few jobs, it hardly touches our goal.
You may be right, but is there any other way of looking at it?
It may be a long-range possibility for a few people. I don't think it's going to help our immediate problem.
Maybe we should separate the ideas into those we can use now and those we can save for the future.
That's a possibility, but our purpose now is not to hang on to every idea. It's to concentrate on those that will solve the problem.
That one won't.
Agreed.
Jonathan, excuse me. You may want to kill me for this, but may I suggest a whole new area for consideration?
You want to start all over again?
Wait, that's all right. We're not locked in on anything. Sure, Byron, go ahead.
Jonathan is right. You keep the process open-ended for as long as possible. Now, that isn't easy, because we're uncomfortable when issues remain unresolved. Our minds have a strong natural desire to have things resolved. If you don't believe it, just listen. Feel how annoying that is? Resolve it, please. It's unsettling to leave things unresolved, but in creativity, you must keep all possibilities open until the very last minute. Even during synthesis, a better idea may emerge. And that is exactly what did happen here.
What's your new idea, Byron?
We want to keep employees, so we've been concentrating on employees. We've said very little about the people above them.
Keeping management people is not the problem we were given.
No, but my thought is this. I don't believe we're losing valuable employees because of the hours, or because they might earn a few more dollars somewhere else. I think they leave because they're uncomfortable here. Uncomfortable with the way they're regarded, or not regarded.
Interesting.
I'm surprised to hear somebody in management say that.
What do you think?
I think you're right. I think it's too much like we have an officers group on top and enlist a group of employees below.
I think so, too. And with the kind of responsibility our employees take on, I don't think that's good in this particular organization.
Let's take the time to talk about this.
All right.
Okay.
A while later, they resume the evaluation with a new idea added to the list. And by the end of the session, they have their strongest proposals pinned down.
Well, we've got several Lulus, all tied into one package. We're going to propose a more lateral and closer working relationship, reducing the communications gap between levels by having more of the administrators working directly with employees, and with this closer working relationship, provide employees with more creative autonomy and more opportunity to participate in decision-making and planning relative to their work.
What about the flexible hours?
This is first. If we get this into operation, other things can be worked out.
Yes, I agree.
It's funny. I just thought of the reorganization idea by accident. Now it's part of our solution.
Hey, you gotta let accidents happen.
Remember the man who accidentally developed an adhesive that wouldn't remain stuck? Now we have these stick-on notes that I couldn't do without.
Accidents are involved in most major advances, but they only benefit people trained and ready to perceive their value, as we were. Now, we have to venture out of our ivory tower and see how this tests in the real world. Before I divide us into subcommittees, where do you think we'll run into the most difficulty?
Mr. Cole, I think if you'll notice, we've taken this employee's lounge that isn't used.
In the next few days, Ellen and Byron carefully sound out key executives, testing management's support or resistance, and getting new input to consider.
Laid or not.
Management being on one side, and we the employees.
Following Jonathan's guidelines, Christine and Craig pursue concurrent investigations. They take a more indirect sampling of employee attitudes, for they must be careful at this stage not to offer more than they can deliver. At the next meeting, they evaluate and revise the plan again. This is similar to the process innovative companies go through when they introduce new products, then adjust their strategy in response to customer feedback. Now comes the final stage.
Especially impressive.
Yes, I think our formal proposal reads well. The advantages are well stated. And I do have the investigation results.
I compiled the responses of the people who will be most affected by the changes, in case you're asked how they feel.
The good and the bad?
Yes, I think the amount of support our proposal has will be impressive.
Okay.
A solution is only as good as its implementation. Following up with those persons who must support and implement the idea will be Jonathan Wells' next task.
Bill, one of the most creative ideas to come out of our brainstorming session has to do with possibility of reorganization. And sure, when could you get that to me, Craig?
This afternoon. No
Terrific. I'll be in my office for another 20 minutes or so. Come see that.
With the task of implementing and following through, Jonathan returns to his regular leadership role, but having now demonstrated his versatility by having shown his skill at switching hats and encouraging team creativity. Both leaders and individual employees must also be capable of creative problem solving on their own, an invaluable skill demonstrated in the companion